I'm the Commissar. We're watching Forged Alliance Forever. Today, brutal back and forth battling on the Bermuda Locket in a 4v4 ladder game. I hope you're ready. It's gonna be fun. The Bermuda Locket. This map takes me back a bit. And here it is in 4v4 ladder. We have the cold team in the top left and the hot team in the bottom right. Let's go in and meet them. And where better to start than with a familiar face. We saw him last week. This is SainseRow, 1438 rated. He's Eon in mauve. Moving around anti-clockwise, this is justawesome. He's 1255 rated, and Cybran, he's in baby blue. Another repeat appearance from Marine, 1492 rated, also Cybran in cyan. And last but not least for the code team, this is Gava, 1088 rated, a third Cybran player, and he's in dark blue. And facing off against them, down here we have Sailor Moon, who's 1428 rated, and UEF, he's in orange. Continuing around the ring, we have RLO, who is 1240 rated. He's also UEF in red. Next up we have Terminator 619, whose name I've commented on before. He's 1493 rated, and Cybran, he's in brown. And last but not least, already walking forward there, we can see Beautiful Menace 3, who's 1167 rated, and Cybran, and he's in burgundy. Now the first thing we'll note about the map is that is an awful lot of reclaim. And if we zoom in here, we see that Terminator, for example, hasn't even built all his mexes yet, because he's so busy getting all his mass from this reclaim. And that's quite... in fact, he's opened first air, which is pretty interesting. Let's see if he gets anything done with it. You'd certainly expect him and RLO to be in the air positions for their team, while Nyar and Awesome will be doing it for Cold Team, or so you'd think. Anyway, that is the map. There are these causeways, and I expect to see a lot of fighting over these 4 mass points per causeway, which, in the case of these two, are going to be contested between the two teams. And Navy. Navy is huge on this map, but it's split into 2. You can win Navy on the inside and lose on the outside, or vice versa. And first by a long shot into the Navy is Awesome, who has built his naval yard here, and he's got another one queued up next to it. And we've only just seen one started here from Terminator, and a few queued from RLO. So that is how we are starting off. And Saints is already sending a few of these tanks to get around here and maybe deny Terminator or Menace getting into the water. And we've got a bomber out from Terminator with a scout ahead of it. This could do some good. It's pretty early as bombers go, under 4 minutes. What could it get done? Well, it can deny Gava getting into the water, which is a great play. Anything more? Quick check over here, where Saints and Menace are engaging with their comms. They're just blapping away at each other, not really achieving anything yet. So back to that bomber. This could be a nice pickup, although we already have the mech is actually constructed. Nonetheless, it kills the NG, which is not bad. It will stop him getting any of the reclaim around here. And Sailor has just locked down this causeway here for Hot Team. He's putting up point defences. He's putting up quite a lot of point defences. He's got to be wary of attacks from the air as well, though. Whereas Gava has just set up a little further back, more safely, but ceding this entire quad of mass points to his opponent. Over here, Saints has dropped down into the yellow, so has Menace, but Menace is pushing Saints back, and it looks like he's got some engineers here on the way who are definitely set up to take this position. Now, Saints' Aurora have come in here to try and stop the naval play from Terminator, but Terminator already has 2 naval yards up and just a couple of Aurora, which he's reclaiming with his comm. Won't be able to shut down both of these naval yards. Terminator could surface this and shoot it, but he doesn't need to. He's got his comm on point. Now Awesome is joining Saints on the causeway. 2v1 could spell bad news for Menace. At the moment though, Hot Team have both contested causeway positions, which could be nice, and Terminator is trying to keep it that way by sending in a bomber to help out his ally. There are a couple of AA tanks here which kill the bomber, but it's held them back while Menace gets himself set up. Now we have a lot of gun upgrades going down. We have Sailor, we have Gava, we have... which one is that? That's Saints, and we have Menace all getting the gun upgrade. So I'm expecting to see a lot of fighting down here, and RLO has brought his comm up to help out Sailor. And RLO's just brought a frigate round here, stopping Gava's second attempt to get into the water, so we're getting good water control from Hot Team, and so far not quite so much from Color Team, though it looks like Awesome is queuing up a bit in order to remedy this. And Menace now has the gun upgrade. Saints has one of the gun upgrades, the range upgrade, the half a gun. But he's going to assist Awesome to get the gun finished, but he'll have to do it quickly because Menace and a bunch of spam is on his way in. Looks like Gava's about to push too though. And Sailor has guns, so does Gava, but Sailor has an awful lot of spam behind him, and Gava, to be honest, doesn't. On this side, Awesome and Saints are charging in against Menace. 2v1, and amounts of spam are actually getting to be similar. Okay, Gava looks like he might actually be in a bit of trouble here. He's still trying to take the fight, but this is a lot of spam here from Sailor, and Sailor is pushing in. You okay there, Gava, my dude? Over here, Menace is taking fire, but so is Awesome, and meanwhile we've got a naval battle going on here for control of the sea. Gava is being swarmed by the spam from Sailor. Menace falling back, Awesome and Saints pushing. Gava's gonna die. Gava is surrounded by spam. Sailor was down into the red, but boom, down goes Gava, and Sailor survives. Over here, Menace is into the red. Awesome isn't that far off though, and you've got a gunship, a Jester. It's just a Jester, it's just T1 coming in from Terminator, but it might make all the difference. And Awesome is down into the red, and boom, and it's a double kill. It's a double kill between Awesome and Menace. Boom, and look at that. Sailor is still just pressing forward. Let's go and see what he's up to. With perhaps more courage than bravery, here comes Sailor, deep into the red with only 2,000 hit points. He is coming into the base that used to belong to Gava and now belongs to Nyarmarine. But there are Corsairs, and he doesn't really have anything to stop Corsairs, and that has hit him hard. He's immediately retreating. These PDs will be able to drive from where he can outrun them, but he can't outrun Corsairs, and he was down to just 50 hit points there. That's insanely close, and he's moving to try and huddle in up against the rock so that these Corsairs can't hit him. But you know what can hit him is this Corsair. And it does! Boom! We are down to 2v2 as Sailor is taken out by Nyar's Corsairs. And if we check up here, we see that Nyar has indeed given this base over to Saints, and Saints is getting sensors. And what it will show him is that there's an awful lot of navy here for Terminator and RLO. And he's got to worry about that because he doesn't really have any navy on the inside it. He's got one frigate. 3 naval yards, sure, but just one frigate. Nya, however, has gone for T2 Navy on the outside, and RLO has gone for Navy on the outside, but he's not started production, he's only at T1. So this could be a game changer in favour of Code Team, but at the moment the inner lake is very much in the hands of Hot Team. Now Saints has sent a little bit of T1 spam out across the causeway here, but it's not going to get very far because there's T2 point defense and T2 tanks out from Terminator, which are easily going to hold it up. Now a quick look at the ecos. Hot Team just a little bit ahead, not much, and Code Team have had more eco collected over the course of the game, but that could change with Hot Team's improved production, and they do still have, well, this Rhino isn't going to get much more done. Boom. They still have 3/4 of a contested central position as opposed to none for Code Team. And we also have the first cruiser out from Terminator, which is coming forward towards Saints' Navy here. And Saints is upgrading to T2 on this naval yard, but he's not there yet. And if Hot Team strike now, I think that could be very much a problem for Code Team. There are a few blazes being massed here, but against this much T1 spam plus a cruiser, and of course Cybran cruisers have pretty good direct fire, the best of all the cruisers, I think that a few blazes won't be enough to stop them. Now Saints has got a TML here, and look at this, he's popping out the shots. One T2 mech's down, two T2 mechs is down, that one was capped. We'll have to come and check at this in a moment, whether Rhino pushes coming in on his forward position. But make that 3 T2 mechs is down, make that 4. Boom, beautiful play from Saints, and then we've got another shot coming out, we'll see what it does, but these Rhinos look set to clear up the problem. That said, they haven't pushed that far in yet, a couple of mechs they could clear up, and we have a naval yard going on. TMD have stopped that other missile. And this could be the entire Central Ocean in Hot Team's control. There's a Destro under construction, but I don't think it's going to finish, and the blazes are easily torn apart. Terminator, of course, for RLO to help with his dudes, and Nya starts the laser. This could be... it can't be a tele-snipe this early. Sure, he hasn't got the energy for a teleporter. There's torpedo defense going up, and there's units being produced all the time. Those are just NGs. I don't think this is going to survive. And Saints might himself be in a bit of trouble. He's into the yellow. He's into the red. Are we about to see an ejection under 2,000 hit points? But he gets a rank of vet at a crucial moment. Back down into the red. But he's gonna do it. He might even save his TMO at the same time. Yeah, look at this. He's popping those tanks. He's only got 1,100 hit points left. 1,000 hit points, but he survives, and he even saves his missile launcher, but he doesn't save his T2 naval yard as the cruiser rolls in and take it out. So good defense from Saints, but he's lost the T2 mechs, he's lost his T2 naval production, and now all these causeway mechs can just be bombarded from the sea. And he's going for Terminator's naval HQ, which could be a big win. Little raid onto the land here that's just coming from RLO, but right now I think this is what's important. But look at that! Cybran cruisers have tactical missile deflection, and it's just flung straight back at the TML. However, one, the cruiser's moved, and two, the missile deflection doesn't reload, and boom, that's down to half health. There's a lot of NGs repairing it though. But there's another missile coming in. I think he's repaired enough for it to survive. Boom, just under 1,000 hit points left on that HQ, and there's a third missile coming in. What's going to happen to it? It takes out the support factory, but the HQ is still alive, so that was a miss from Saints, who's now lost the tactical missile launcher to Terminator's Navy. Meanwhile, RLO has a Destro here, and it's taking out vulnerable eco from Nya. However, Nyar has a Salem which could come onto the land and take the fight to that destro. Is this a reclaim attempt from... Well, it's not going to get much done. Boom. However, both Saints and Nyar have T3 air, whereas neither of Hot Team do. What is this though? Over here, Nyar also has a TMO. It's not going for these mexes. Is it going for RLO's HQ? Over here, we have Riptides coming in, and we have this... I think he's going to get it. Boom! RLO loses his naval HQ. Marvellous. But we also have to look over here, where that Salem is coming across the water, and Nyar has just flown his comm in. The transport takes damage as Nyar drops himself just in time. Salem firing on the destro. He isn't able to return fire, but there's a missile cruiser shooting back. And over here, the Riptides have been driven away, but Saints still has his navy to worry about. Saints is having to be very careful about where he moves. And with a stealth generator, Nyar just gets in the damaged transport. What a madlad. And he's got a bit of ASF cover here, which, as we recall, Hot Team didn't have any T3 air. And he's just flying in with his laser comm. I don't think he even has the cloak. I think he's just got nano. And there's a AA turret there. But he just lands, and boom. With the stealth supporting him, though of course he does have, which stealth the transport, he's got his own personal stealth on board. He just walks in. And look at this bravery. This is mad. He's surrounded by T2 tanks. He's being absolutely pummeled. He's down into the... But boom! He kills RLO, leaving only Terminator on Hot Team. And that is beautiful. And the veterancy he got, he is still in the yellow. He is taking fire though. He's taking fire from a destro. He's taking fire from bombers. But he is just walking his way in, and this is insane, and I love it. Up here at the top, Saints has taken quite a pummeling. Look at this, we've got Rhinos coming in across here, we've got cruisers on the outside now for Terminator, who's built a naval yard here. And Saints is having his eco pummeled. He's got a few blazes, but I don't know if that's gonna hold up. Over here, Nyar's got two Salems now, but they're looking quite outnumbered by the magnitude of this force here. Multiple cruisers and destros, including both Cybran direct fire cruisers and UEF missile cruisers, and these Salems, one of them dies, he brings on another, but he's just not doing the damage. But you know what is doing the damage? I will tell you, it is his laser comm. He's got a laser comm, and he's just walking in, bores out into the base that used to belong to Sailor Moon. Completely unprotected, except by that giant laser sticking out of his face. He's going to have to be careful about that protection, because there are destros coming round the outside from Terminator. But Nyar is just strutting in. No telly, no cloak, just nano, maser, and bores right out as he strides into Sailor's old base. He's under destro fire, he is taking hits, but down goes the production, and if he walks just a little bit this way, that destro won't be able to hit him. Up here, however, Saints is taking fire from an insane number of cruisers, which Terminator is just adding to all the time, and Saints is going to have to be really careful about his position. Was that? Yeah, look. Saints sent a strap round the outside, but it didn't really get much done. It killed like one mech. And Nyar has just utterly trashed this base, and he continues on forward. Up here, though, Terminator is repaying the damage, and a few torpedo bombers are out from Saints. But against that many cruisers, they'll get maybe half a cruiser's worth of damage, if that, and then they're all dead. But Nyar just goes on, and pretty much the entire navy for Terminator has been recalled to take the fight. Is he building defences here? When did a Salem get in here? Who's Salem? And Nya is taking hits, but his laser opens up. And he has done so much damage, despite which he might be in for the chop. There's Cybran walking up from here on this side. There's Cybran walking up on this side, albeit a very badly damaged one. There's point defenses on this side. There's tanks, T1 spam swarming all around him. He's down to 1,000 hit points. I don't think he's gonna make it. 700, 500. Boom! And now we are down to a 1v1 as after Nya's insane charge across the map, it's just Saints versus Terminator. And Saints is doing his best to defend. There are missile launchers, there are Rhino tanks, and there are all these cruisers. If these were UEF cruisers, he would be toast, as they would just be lobbing missiles in, but the Cybran cruisers have to worry about this terrain. And a few of them are getting shots over, but a few of them, as you can see, are just hitting the wall. And we've also got that naval push that came back to kill Nya coming back up here. It looks like what was Nya going to do with these? I think he was just going for reclaim here, but Saints needs to react, and he's just going to lose them if he doesn't, as the first the frigates and then the rest of the navy come in to join him. Now Saints is massing torps over here, but he might have to fire them away, because I don't think, and Corsairs, but because I don't think he's got enough to stop this many cruisers. That is now 9 cruisers, which is a massive number, and they really despise that hill. Saints moves his torps. He knows better than to let those cruisers catch them. I'm not sure this is the best place for his comm. Sure, cruisers don't have any torps, but he would be stuck in the water, and he knows that he's moving away. He's got an artillery piece here to defend, but he's losing so much, and he's also losing so much over on this side. Look at the ecos though, they're not actually that far apart, and in fact Saints is slightly ahead. Is Terminator... Oh, that's why, there you go, he's locked, he's on only 50% power. Oh, he was a second ago. Even so, he's pretty badly power locked. And that could be the difference. And where are these torp bombers and Corsairs going? Does Saints know where Terminator is?
Commander,
he doesn't. And more to the point, he's under fire. So let's come back here. He's under fire from these cruisers. He's using the rocks to block himself well. But I don't know if he can stop this. A huge bank of RT might do it, but while he's building RT over here, he has to worry about losing this space as well. And now, despite still being power locked, Terminator has the eco lead by a factor of 50, which is, well, okay, by a lead of 50. It's not a factor of 50, that would be a bit silly. And the Salem's come up onto land. They should be able to just get over here and trash this HQ, which would be a bit of a problem for Saints. And Saints continues to lose eco, and Terminator is now 2-4-1 eco ahead. It was for a second there. I almost missed the consonant out of eco too. Terminator ahead on EO, but that would be weird. Make me sound like a Teletubby if anybody remembers those. I never watched Teletubbies when I was a kid, they were after my time. We do have a strat out, which could be good. A couple of strat hits there would be nice, but there were enough cruisers, I think, that trying to hit the Navy with it would be a bad idea. And the torpedo bomber flight, backed up by Corsairs and ASFs, is massing down here. And what does Terminator know? Well, he doesn't know that there's an immense air force massing down there. And now is the time to use it, because what can Saints do? He's massively behind on eco. He's just losing more as this navy comes approaching. He's lost this naval yard. He's lost all his naval yards. He's lost everything apart from the air. But what an air force. Look at this air force. It's over here, and they've seen him. They've seen the comm. is this enough torpedo bombers? I think Terminator knows he's under threat. He's put up 4 flaks and he's got 3 cruisers here. But the torp bombers come in. Is this going to be it? Despite his massive advantage, is Terminator going to throw it away to torpedoes? They're coming in, they're hitting him. They take him down. Boom! Terminator goes out and SainseRow and Code Team win the game. Despite having lost Navy, having lost everything but air, and almost all of that thanks to the cruisers, if apart from one little, or rather huge, flight of torpedo bombers. So who would you say was MVP that game? On the one hand, I loved Nyar's Mazercom just walking in there bold as brass and taking out like a base and a half on his own with his face laser. But it was Saints' torpedo bombers and his air control overall that won the day in the end, despite the huge horde of cruisers out from Terminator. Who was MVP? Tell me in the comments below. And while you're down there, do not forget, like, subscribe, and obey. I'm the Commissar, and I will see you next time.